everyone, and welcome back to Growing Kentucky's Leaders. Today we have J.R. Shinkle, and he has served on the Kentucky FFA Foundation Board of Trustees since 2017. He is our chairman-elect that will start serving in 2025, but he also wears a lot of other hats within FFA. So, J.R., how about you introduce yourself to our audience? You need to tell everyone how your FFA career started, and then maybe how we reconnected.
It has been a tremendous journey of over 40 years for my love of FFA. My journey started, I'm going to sound like a very old man, but I got my first FFA jacket in the fall of 1976. I was a member of the Gallatin County FFA chapter, very small chapter. This is going to sound funny because all the facilities we have today, but our FFA building and our chapter and the ag classes were housed in an old cannery building at Gallatin County from back during the time of World War II. We didn't know any different, so we just thought it was. But looking back now, the facilities were not the best, but what we did have at Gallatin County, we had a tremendous and great ag teacher, and Mr. Larry Vaught. We were such a small chapter. We had one ag teacher. He was our ag teacher. He was our bus driver, and he was an advisor in more ways than one. He wore that advisor hat more. Even thinking back, all the things he helped me with was just amazing. I remember I was just an average FFA student, and toward the end of my freshman year, it was coming up time for chapter, contests were starting and everything. And I remember Mr. Vaught telling me, he said, you could be very special. And I don't feel like I'm a special person that way, but he said, all the students come through here, he says, I really think that if you commit yourself and work at it, you can be something special. And I never will forget that. So he inspired me. I became, Star Green Hand. And then it went from there to Northern Kentucky regional president. And then one of the greatest days of my life was was June of 1980. I was elected to state office. And I still, to this day, cherish that year of service for Kentucky FFA, but I never forgot that experience of having somebody that can believe in you and what a difference it makes. I talked to Mr. Vaught of all things this week, and it's just how we've reconnected and everything. But you talked about, Sheldon, even though I wasn't always farm central as far as my work life and everything, I've done a lot of different things. FFA was always central to the examples that I saw and the hard work and dedication. And a little bit over 9 years ago, this young lady brought the state officer team to our location here at Wright Implement. It wasn't Wright at the time. It was Limestone then. And immediately after I started talking to you, Sheldon, I thought, you know what? FFA's done so much for me. I want to return the favor. And then I had the honor of being asked to serve on the board of trustees. And it's just been a great experience ever since. Made some tremendous friends. I can't be thankful enough for what FFA still does for me.
You have such a rich history of FFA, and we will definitely dive into that some more. But I want to talk about your current role too. So those listening, JR is a John Deere equipment salesman with Wright Implement and out of their Florence location. And so if anyone's in the market to buy some equipment, you can hit up JR for all your needs. He'll be happy to help out. But we wanted to talk about Wright Implement and how they've been such an incredible supporter to Kentucky FFA. And I would just love for you to expand on that a little bit. Tell us about who Wright Implement is and why they make it a top priority to support Kentucky FFA.
Well, Wright Implement purchased us, I believe it was in May of 2020. Anytime there's a transition of different ownership, a lot of times people will say, oh, it's going to get better. And a lot of times it doesn't. But this was by far, it got better for everybody that works in this field when Wright purchased us. The first meeting I had with Ben Wright, Ben is a dear friend, and he's just an amazing individual. He's kind of stepped away, but once I talked to Ben, we realized that we were both former state officers, and I told him I had such a passion and love for Kentucky FFA. And over the past, this will be, I think, our fifth time, Ben has donated Wright Implement has donated a gator that we always raffle off at Gala. I could not work for a company that's more supportive with the goals and trying to help people through the FFA as Wright Implement is. They have a passion for it, like no other company I think that we have as a sponsor. I love all our sponsors, but FFA is a conversation. Every time we have a corporate function or talk to a corporate person, it's just amazing what happens. I mean, it all comes up. So anyway, but that's a little bit about what Wright means to me and what FFA means to Wright Implement.
Yeah. Wright's support of us has been so instrumental. We're going to talk about that in a few ways. One of those is with Kentucky FFA Works. And so Kentucky FFA Works is a program we rolled out this January. It allows our students who are workforce ready when they're graduating high school to partner with our sponsors and supporters to find jobs in agriculture. And we shared this with our board as a concept, and Wright was our very first partner involved. And so they're even speaking every week at FFA camp this year about FFA Works and how a student can be ready to apply. So what kind of trends do you see in the workforce right now? What do you all need? And how can FFA and ag education be an answer for that?
Well, we realize with Wright, not everyone what really has the desire to go to college. And I think the workforce, not just in the ag field, but I think the workforce across the country in general, we have lost a generation or two of people that want to work with their hands. We're like a lot of people, we're always looking for good talent. And a lot of that talent comes from just showing up and wanting to go to work. College is great for everybody, but we also realize that a lot of young people want to graduate high school, maybe go to a trade school, and then go right to work. And Wright is, through Kentucky Works, it's been a great program. I think it's going to grow as other employers see what type of talent that we're getting through it. Not just the talent we're hiring, but the other sponsors and the other people that's connected with Kentucky FFA Works and all the hard work that you all have done. It's just a great pipeline of talent to come to any location in any position.
Yeah. Ruth Ann pointed out today that one of our state stars in agriculture placement, a boy from Greene County, he is a Kentucky FFA Works applicant and was also our state star. So, and he has a business refurbishing and selling online old tractor parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is too, and I'm not interrupting because you know me, I get started, but Wright Implement has a young man that's now the state treasurer, Jacob Rudy. He's an employee of Wright Implement out of our Owensburg store. So we're very proud of him, and he will have a great year of service, and he'll be a great asset to Kentucky FFA.
Well, and JR, Jacob Rudy was also in our first group of foundation ambassadors last year.
That's
so he's
right.
Just so connected to the foundation in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
and it's ironic too, talking about the chapter I grew up in, Gallatin County. Well, the Gallatin County, Parker Keys, we have a state officer once again from Gallatin County, my home chapter, and Parker's also my cousin. So it's really a big world, but a small world all at the same time.
Yeah.
Goodness. Anyone who works in agriculture, I think this goes for any state, knows it becomes a very small world when you're in this industry, for sure.
Yes, it is.
Well,
yes.
JR, I definitely want to talk about your role that you've had on our board and how pivotal that has been in a lot of ways. And so just for everyone listening, JR has served as our fund development committee chair for several years, and we've gotten to work closely together on that. One of our biggest projects in that committee is the Blue and Gold Gala that we host each year, and it just raises all kinds of support for Kentucky FFA members. You and your wife, Julie, have been incredible supporters of the gala since your time of being on the board, and I just wanted you to share about what are some of those things that you have done to be involved with the gala and some of those auction items that you've donated each year.
Well, anybody that knows me knows that I don't golf. I don't play tennis. I've always been a lifetime hunter. And we set up a memorial in our son Craig's name. We lost Craig 18 years ago. But we have been through the grace of Weatherby Arms in the last several years. They've helped us with a donation of a firearm that we auction off every year at our gala. And I believe last year, don't quote me on this, I think it raised over $8,000 for Kentucky
It did.
FFA.
It
And
did.
it is so weird. I had emailed, no, it's not weird. It's just fate. Just like when Sheldon walked in the door the first time, I had emailed them like 2 weeks ago about getting out there, because Julie and I will be there in about 3 weeks out in the West, and we'd love to stop by and talk to you again about, working out something about doing this again.
Mhm.
In 2 minutes before I got on this call, I got an email in response from them. 2 minutes. Said, we love to see you, and will give me a date and a time and everything, and we want to continue to help. So
Mhm.
I don't believe everything just happens for a reason, but I do believe that we are blessed by people that come into our lives. You two are a blessing to us, and we wanted to turn this around to try to bless others that have helped us so much in life.
Yeah, it means a lot. And I hope ag teachers and FFA members that are listening to this know that so many people are in their corner and rooting for them that they don't even know,
Nope.
they
Nope.
don't even know. They don't even know that someone in Wyoming is helping orchestrate all of this so that it can really impact them. And I hope they just feel very encouraged by that.
Yeah, Julie's only response is that when we go to Weatherby to talk to them about a gun, that I don't buy another gun for JR. So anyway,
That's the deal, huh?
yeah, that's part of the deal. So
That's a good trade for us. That's good. Well, we cannot talk to you and not talk about our blue and gold raffle that has been part of our gala for the past 5 years. It has grown and grown and grown. We sold 250 tickets at $100 a piece for 2 years. We've done 500 tickets at $100 a piece for 2 years. But this year, with the support of Wright, we've added some prizes, and we're going to try to sell 1,000
1,000 tickets.
1,000 tickets for $100 a piece.
Mhm.
So, Sarah, why don't you just tell us about what's being offered in our raffle? And right now, people are listening. Ticket sales should be available. They could visit our website. Why should somebody support us for that $100? They could be the
let,
lucky
let,
winner.
let me think about this. I think I know somebody was nervous that we couldn't sell 500. Did I remember that correctly?
Yeah, it's always been me. It has. Raffle tickets as a professional fundraiser has been a surprise to me. And I'll tell you, there are some people who, if you ask for $100 gift, they would be like, I would no, that's not who they are. But if you offer a raffle ticket, that's where they will give. And
Yep.
we have found a lot of people do that. And so we want to tap into all donors who care about FFA. And this has been an excellent way for us.
In one of the most fun things, Sheldon, in the last 5 years is when you and I have we've got to roll all over Kentucky delivering these gators, because I usually deliver them personally, and we've been from one end of the state to the other. But
Julie.
it's ironic. I'm looking out my office window, and the gator that we will be giving away, I'm seeing the back of it. It's already got an FFA sticker on it. So but it's been phenomenal this year. We hope to sell 1,000 tickets. We're going to do the gator. It's going to be the grand prize, but it was one thing. Okay, it's great. We sold 500 tickets, but there's only one prize. Well, this year, Gus Seeger, who is our president of Wright Implement, or CEO now, he is going to give us a great package on top of the gator. We are going to have a Greenworks electric zero-turn mower with a value of like $4,000 for second prize. Also, a lot of other electric chainsaws and weed eaters and all kinds of prizes. It is going to be awesome, and I do firmly believe that we can sell 1,000 tickets. I really do, and it's just amazing. If we do sell 1,000 tickets, bringing in $100,000 to Kentucky FFA, man, it really touches my heart that my company is involved with it, and and it's been a great program. It's been a great contribution, and I can't thank my company enough for doing that, and Gus in particular, and Ben.
Yeah. And that $100,000 for us, at our last board meeting, we got to have our foundation ambassadors come and just kind of share their story of how they've been supported by the FFA Foundation. And it's students from all over, from all walks of life who say, this is how my SAE grant benefited me. This is how I'm wearing this jacket because of your jacket grants. It's just incredible that that support from our raffle, from our gala, from all these things that we do, it all goes to make an impact in the lives of members. And so
Yes.
if you are thinking about supporting us, I hope that we'll put the link in our show notes. Buy a raffle ticket, and then hopefully JR and I can come and deliver a gator to your house. So
We
Oh,
always
or a
enjoy.
zero-turn mower.
or a mower or a blower or a push mower, all kinds of things.
Always look forward to our road trip, Sheldon, because it always ends up at a Mexican restaurant. So anyway, it's always good. So we might even let Ruth Ann tag along this time.
I'd be honored. Well, JR, we always ask our guests the same 3 questions, and you are no exception to this. I'm looking forward to your
Okay.
answers. The first
Okay.
question is just, what is the best piece of leadership advice that you've ever received?
I actually would probably say it came from my mom. I had to think on that. My mom always said, it's not hard to do the right thing, but it's hard knowing what the right thing is to do. So, in turning to that, I heard Sparky Anderson. I'm a big Reds fan. I remember he said, the worst decision a person can make in the world is not making a decision. Because if it's the right decision, you go on with it. But if it's the wrong decision, you learn from it. And I made a lot of wrong decisions in my life, but hopefully I've learned from every bad choice that I've made to make it the next time that I do something on the right side of things.
That's good, JR.
Does that make any sense? Anyway.
It does. That's really good advice. Yeah.
That's great. So, the Kentucky FFA Foundation, we're philanthropy, and philanthropy is all about giving back. There's so many ways you can give back, and one of those is just by pouring into other people. And so we want to just give you a moment to shout out somebody who has poured into you and your journey that's that you would just like to give some credit to.
Well, there's so many. I mentioned Larry Bott at an early age. I saw Mr. Delmer Dalton at our sponsors dinner, and Mr. Dalton, we kind of got emotional when I told him he did not know that I'd been elected the next chair. And I remember he put his arm around me. He said, "You were always one of the good ones." And he said, "I just want you to know that of all the officer teams," he said, you meant a lot to me. And that really touched my heart. The one that poured into me more than other than my mom and dad probably was my grandfather, Mr. Ed Shinkle. We called him Papa. He lived to be 101 years old, and he just died in 1997. So my children got to see him in a young age. What a great man he was! But the changes that he went through his life. Born in 1896 as on a farm in Boone County. Never had a whole lot, but he had a lot of love. But the most faith-driven man I've ever seen in my life, and he loved everybody. And I just have, I've always strive every day when I get up to make my family proud of me. Some are still here and some are gone. And my grandfather just had an incredible impact on my life.
What an incredible story. That's incredible. Well, JR, the last thing that we always ask our guests, and this one's kind of off the wall a little bit here, but it's always interesting.
I'm off the wall all the time, so you can go fire.
Well, perfect. What is something that you're loving right now that's helping you grow? So this could be anything. I mean, it could be a book you've read, a podcast you listen to, a gadget, a daily habit, anything. What's helping you grow right now?
Well, I've tried in the last 16 months to get a little bit healthier, more driven. Lost 35 pounds. Honestly, wearing a fitness tracker. A fitness tracker keeps, me in technology, as you all know how I am. I'm so great at technology, but it's been great keeps me moving, keeps me motivated. I'll look and say, hey, I didn't get enough steps in or whatever today. So I get up and get moving. The more we move, the better we are, not just health wise, but I think mentally. Julie and I, for the last probably 2 years, at 8:00 at night, unless the Reds or Kentucky's playing, we turn the television off. We check out of the news and realize that what you see on a television screen is really what is not the important things in life. And Julie had a health scare back in January with a heart attack, and it kind of centered me that just because you might plan to live to be 101 like my grandfather, You need to take the day-to-day blessings and thank the Lord for everything that you've been given. Every minute that we're on this earth, try to serve others. And that's, I'm an open book. Sheldon has always said I wear my feelings on my sleeves, and it's very true. But I try to every day to just be as honest and upfront with people. I don't play games with people, whether I'm serving the FFA or selling them equipment. Try to be honest as can be, and try to treat people how I would want to be treated.
And you certainly do. Anyone who knows you, JR, they know that's true.
Well, thank you.
Well, JR, thank you for being on our podcast. It really is true. We met by chance. We were doing a visit to Limestone, and we just met and we connected, and you came into the fold of FFA, and I just thought, well, he'd be a great board member. And so you got to join us, and you have came through that full circle. And so we look forward to your time as chairman and what's next. But we've done so much good together, and you have absolutely helped us do that, and especially through Wright. And so thank you for being with us. And I hope everybody buys a raffle ticket.
I do too. I know. Let's sell them all. Let's have them sold before we go to Gala. So
That'll be
anyway, I love Kentucky FFA, and I love you two girls and everything that you all have done for us.
No. Well, thank you, JR, and thank you all for listening to this episode of Growing Kentucky's Leaders. Growing Kentucky's Leaders is a podcast brought to you by the Kentucky FFA Foundation. Our music is performed by Bourbon County FFA member Joe Fritch. Artwork is by Julie Fritch Creative. Your hosts are Sheldon McKinney and Ruth Ann Fink, and you can find us on all social platforms at Kentucky FFA.